going to head back into the receiving props, but go to the Chiefs side of things this time. And let's kick things off on the Chiefs side with none other than Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce sitting at 70.5 receiving yards and 6.5 receptions. This also a likely candidate to go to 7.5, as we are sitting at a very, very juiced over on the 6.5 for Travis Kelce. If you were wondering, Travis Kelce played in 18 games over the course of the season for an average of 66.4 yards per game. Kelce, though, another one of those guys where the median actually higher than the average, 67 yards for Travis Kelce on the median. He had a low of 14 yards in a game. It was a 3-catch, 4-target game versus the Dolphins, and only 14 yards for Travis Kelce in that game. He also had a 179-yard game, and that was a 12-catch on 13-target game versus the Chargers. So you can see with Travis Kelce, there is a range of outcomes for him as well.
There is, and he's one of the two guys on this list, Kelce and Rice, who've gotten 52 of the 91 targets so far from Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. So really a two-headed monster here. And not going to lie, pretty good matchup here for Travis Kelce. The San Francisco 49ers gave up over 1,000 yards receiving to tight ends in the regular season. They came in 6th worst in the NFL in that spot. And last time we saw them, Sam Laporta may still be catching footballs. He went 9 for 97 in the NFC Championship game, had 13 targets that day. He went absolutely wild as well. This is going to be a Kansas City offense that is going to focus on mainly two players here. You're going to get the random pass to MBS. You're going to get some Pacheco out of the backfield. Watson and Gray get involved every now and then. But it's really going to be Rice and Kelce. The big question to me, what do the 49ers try and take away? I think it's Kelce. I think they're going to try and take him away early and often in this game. I can't take the over here at 6.5 on the receptions at -160. 70.5, I think, is a well-priced number here. But when you go down to Rice, right below him at that 66.5 number, he's the guy I'm targeting for my overs here on this Kansas City team. I think he has a big day.
Longest reception for Travis Kelce is set at 20.5 yards. He went over 10 times in 18 games over the course of the season for Kelce. If you're wondering about his receiving yardage sitting there at 70.5, he did only go over 7 times in 18 games on that 70.5. However, you would believe that if possible, now the defense is certainly going to play a role in all of this, but Patrick Mahomes is likely to look Travis Kelce's way early and often if he can, right? I mean, because he's going to be looking at his most trusted guy out there. We got to remember as we talk through the rest of these guys, this is not the receiving core and the weapons that are on the other side of the ball here. And so I get why they juiced this up. They knew it was going to be all over money anyway in all this, but I also get why they juiced this up because I do expect Travis Kelce, so long as he is able to find any sort of gap in the defense, for Patrick Mahomes to look at him a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He is going to be the go-to guy here. We've seen that 27 targets so far in the playoffs. And you also see these numbers tick up just a little bit because you're going to see public money come in on Travis Kelce, who is somehow has become the most popular player to the general public now in the NFL. It's not Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce is a bigger name out there because of everything with Taylor Swift. These are props that are going to get hammered to the over the game, day of the game, the day before the game, because there's going to be a lot of people who are coming up and saying, hey, could I get some Travis Kelce over bets here just to root for Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl? If you want the under on any of this, I think you wait till later. I wouldn't be shocked if Kelce closes somewhere in the mid-70s versus this 70.5, and that reception total could get up to as high as 8.5. It's not going to sit at 6.5 for long.
I agree, and this is one of the ones that I have my eye on for an under, and then even an alt under as well whenever we get up there. Listen, I believe as well, even though I do like the Chiefs in this game, I believe that you have to make them beat you with all the rest of these guys instead of Travis Kelce. And if you look over the course of the season, guys, Kelce had games of 14, 16, 26, 28, 44, 44, 58, 60, well under the 70.5 that we have right now. And again, if he's going to be the focal point of this defense, which we both believe that this would be the most obvious thing ever, I would imagine the first thing said in that defensive meeting, we sit down and go like, we're not getting beat by Travis Kelce.
You can't say we're not going to get beat by Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. You can't take him away completely, right? You've got the ball too much. But you can sit there and say, we're going to put Ward man up on Rice, and we're going to take away Travis Kelce with 2 to 3 people.
Yeah.
Find a way to beat us with everybody else. That has to be the defensive game plan here if you're San Francisco. We'll see what they do. Ward, another quarterback who doesn't generally follow players around. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of that in this game.
Rashee Rice played in 19 games because he didn't sit out that Week 18 game like a lot of the Chiefs did. So Rashee Rice actually played in 19 games this year, averaged 61.1 yards per game, median of 57 yards per game. If you look, sitting right now at 6.5 receptions there for Rashee Rice. He had a low of 17 in a game. He had a high of 130 in a game this season as well. Rashee Rice, over the course of the year, Mike, got more and more trust from Patrick Mahomes and did become the wide receiver one. Now, that's not to say much because, again, there are games along the way here for Rashee Rice. And despite being the wide receiver one of an offense that is quarterbacked by Patrick Mahomes, I mentioned the 17-yard game. There was a 20-yard game, a 29-yard game, a 32-yard game, a 33-yard game, a 42-yard game. So you're the wide receiver one with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, and there's several games in which you had less than 50 yards receiving.
Now, I can make a case here, right? 4 of those games that you mentioned were 4 of the first 5 games of the season. So we've seen Patrick Mahomes grow more and more comfortable with Rice as the season has gone along. For me, the bigger concern is it's 46 and 47 in 2 of the playoff games. Against Miami, he goes 8 for 130, flies over any type of prop. The last 2 games, 46 and 47 yards. The target share against Baltimore, though, got 9 targets in that game, caught 8 of them, went for the 46. I think it's Rice's day here. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. To me, Rashee Rice is the guy that is going to have to do it for Kansas City if they're going to be able to get things moving. I like him over 100 yards in this spot. I think he's going to get a massive target share. I'd rather take his over from a reception perspective than I would on the Kelce side. You mentioned this a couple weeks ago as well. Rashee Rice gets a lot of short targets. They're very, very catchable passes. When you look at his target or catch percentage from a target perspective, he is well in the 70s in catching these passes at game in and game out. If he gets the target share, let's say 9 targets, 10 targets, which I don't think is out of the realm of possibility, he flies over that 6.5 because of how easy these catches are, how close to the line of scrimmage they are.
Sadly enough, the number 3 option is Marquez Valdes-Scantling here for the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you're wondering, he is sitting at 18.5 receiving yards. He is sitting at 1.5 receptions. Do you want to know why he is sitting at 1.5 receptions, Mike?
He averages right around 1.5 receptions.
He had 1 or 2 catches in 15 of 19 games that he played in.
He's consistent.
1 or 2 catches in 15 of the 19 games.
I guess that's the one time you can say MVS is consistent.
He had 0 catches in 3 games. He had 3 catches in 1 game, and that's his entire season. This is who Marquez Valdes-Scantling is.
And so here's the thing. I'm never playing 18.5.
Yeah. Never
playing over 18.5. Let me rephrase that. I don't mind if you like the under, playing under 18.5. I'm playing alt overs if I'm playing MVS.
Yes.
Because his depth of target, unlike Rashee Rice, is down the football field. So if he makes 1 catch, he's over this number. So I'm looking at 25. I'm looking at 50. I'm saying, okay, if I think MVS is going over 18.5, I'm going way over that number. I want plus money on that prop.
I would never play the 18.5, and I would only play the over on his long reception, which is 13.5. So it's he has 1 or 2 catches in 15 of 19 games. So that's the play for Marquez Valdes-Scantling. By the way, the over of 13.5 yards for him, he hit it in 10 of 15 games that he caught a pass. So as long as he catches something. In 10 of 15 games that he caught a pass, it was longer than 13.5 yards.
Well, one of the games he didn't catch a pass, the Philadelphia game. I think we all remember what happened when he got passes thrown down the field to him in that spot.
Exactly.
All of those over 13.5.
Exactly. There are props out there for Pacheco and Watson and Gray, and those are like 17.5, 16.5, and 11.5 respectively. But Mike, you're really just kind of throwing a dart with any of those guys because they haven't had any consistency within this offense.
The only other thing that really jumps out to me would be something on Pacheco. 17.5 seems a little bit low. We talked about the defensive theory that we'd expect from San Francisco here. You take away Travis Kelce with 2 guys. You have your linebackers focused on Travis Kelce. You man up with Ward against Rice. Someone's got to make plays. To me, that's Pacheco is the most likely guy. Don't hate the Clyde Edwards-Helaire over 1.5 plus 175 either. I do think the running backs get quite a bit of action out of the backfield here.
A head-to-head with Kittle and Kelce. Kittle getting plus 170.
That's spicy.
On Kelce, if we believe that Kelce is they're going to try to take him away, plus 170 is a pretty good number.
It's a very good
on
number.
Kittle.